There's no doubt that politicians use a number of tactics to gain your vote, mostly lying and optimism. Let me put this in a way that you'll understand. Let's say your grandma is supposed to be doing all your editing, and every time you go upstairs, she's just napping. You can't fire her. What you can do is basically what politicians make you do, and that's do all the work yourself. Do you see what you don't need to be responsible and save.
Let mommy take care of you. Mommy's gonna make all the pain go away.
In this video, I set out to translate Kamala's lies and optimism. Enjoy.
The voters are really eager to hear what your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class.
You're cool with vague and extremely pandering answers, right?
When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward.
When I see bums and dirty people and just kind of smelly people, I can kind of smell them right now. I don't just think about their smell. I like to think, hey, I can help them.
We have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation, and I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
Donald Trump is a loser and wants another civil war.
So what would you do day one?
Don't ever try to dodge my first question.
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy.
We are opening doors for people to take money without working.
I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard, which include what we're going to do to bring down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses.
And not to mention the work we're doing to invest in small businesses like Granny's Nannies and John's government free money services.
What we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby clothes, a crib.
Also, the work that we're doing to trick people into having a little tax credit for a very expensive baby.
There's the work that we're going to do that is about investing in the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our country right now.
There's also the work that I'm doing right now to be super vague about the whole housing thing.
What about you?
Well, I'm excited about this agenda too. As I said, the idea of inspiring America to what can be, and I think many of these things that the Vice President's proposing are things that we share in values. And the child tax credit is one we know that reduces childhood poverty by 1/3. We did it in Minnesota. To have a federal partner in this, unbelievable, I think, in the impact that we can make.
What she said. And also, have you heard of the tax credit? As you can see, I suck at comedy and I suck at YouTube. But if you subscribe, I promise I will not fire my grandma.
One of your campaign themes is we're not going back. But I wonder what you say to voters who do want to go back when it comes to the economy specifically, because their groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
I told you not to dodge my first question.
Well, let's start with the fact that when Joe Biden and I came in office.
Let's start with the fact Joe Biden and I were lost for just a few seconds, but we did eventually find that office.
During the height of a pandemic, we saw over 10 million jobs were lost.
We saw stray jobs confused and wandering about.
The economy had crashed.
The truth is, you gotta know how to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. They'll never notice.
In large part, all of that because of mismanagement by Donald Trump of that crisis.
Yep.
When we came in, our highest priority was to do what we could to rescue America, and today we know that we have inflation at under 3%.
We really did what we could for how old Joe Biden is. Never mind those egg prices. You can't see the egg prices.
But you are right. Prices, in particular for groceries, are still too high. The American people know it, I know it.
Did someone say child tax credit?
which is why my agenda includes what we need to do to bring down the price of groceries. For example, dealing with an issue like price gouging.
Have I mentioned that I don't own any grocery store stocks? Lucky me.
What we need to do to extend the child tax credit to help young families be able to take care of their children in their most formative years.
Now I know somebody said the child tax credit. It was me.
What we need to do to bring down the cost of housing. My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000 for first-time home buyers.
You don't need to be responsible and save.
Let mommy take care of you. Mommy's gonna make all the pain go away.